All right, here we go. This one's going to be a 357 Magnum versus 10mm test. And today we have some Underwood ammo to try out. So for the 357 Magnum, that one is 125 grain XTP. That one does have your nickel plated brass. It is rated at 1700 feet per second. And for the 10mm, that one is 155 grain XTP. Also nickel plated brass, and that one is rated at 1500 feet per second. So for the 357 Magnum, we will be going out of our Ruger Security 6. That one does have a 4-inch barrel. And for the 10mm, we'll be using our Rock Island Ultra, and that one does have a 5-inch barrel. So we'll be going through our gel. It is a 10% block. Do have our catch block behind that, so a total of 25 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front, and like always, we'll set up our chronograph so we can hopefully pick up that impact velocity. So let's set up and see how these rounds do. First one up will be that 357 Magnum. All right, we're setting it to 15 feet. All right, let's see how we did on that one. Looks like our impact velocity on that was 1506, so not too bad. Definitely didn't reach that 1700, but still pretty good. All right, so let's check out this block. So it looks like our entry hole's pretty good. Got it right where we wanted, and you can see right down in there. Nice star pattern so far. You can't actually see one of the fragments, so looking really good. And let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, check that stretch cavity out. Looking pretty good so far. Looks like it carried most of the way through, and then we were able to stop it here in this second block, so quite a bit of penetration on that. So let's see our measurement. From our widest point, we are at, let's see, about 2 3/4 inches, so not too bad so far. Let's check it out from the side. Check that out. Same thing from the side. Looks like as soon as it came in, started opening up really nice. Quite a bit of damage coming all the way through. There were some really small fragments down in there. Like I said, it looks like it carried pretty much the whole way except maybe that last inch or so, and did start to settle down. Then we did make it in that second block, but looking pretty good so far. So our measurement from the side at our widest point is 3 inches, so just a little bit more from the side. And there's that round rest in there in that second block. So we got to our leading edge just about 2.5 inches, so we got 13.5 inches of penetration on that one, so really not too bad at all. So let's set up for that 10mm and see how that one does. All right, we're stemming it to 15 feet. All right, let's see how we did on that one. So it does look like we have an error. Let's see if we're able to actually catch it before it snuck over. So it says 1149. I don't believe that is that one. So it doesn't look like we caught that one. When I have tested that one in the past, I right at about 1400 feet per second. So I'll probably just throw a previous number. So sorry guys, I wasn't able to get that impact velocity on that one, but like I said, we're right about the 1400 feet per second area. It was pretty much right at advertised last time. It was because that cotton t-shirt flew right over the sensor and kind of screwed it up, but we'll still go forward with this. So you can see that entry hole on that. Looking really good so far. You can see right down in that hole. Pretty nice so far, and then a huge star pattern, and then you can see quite a few fragments on that. It looks like those ones we got right where we wanted. So it was that left one for the 10mm. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, look at that huge stretch cavity going through. You can see a few of those fragments. all the way through. It looks like it did settle down quite a bit towards the end, and look at that, we're able to catch it here in this first block. So we didn't quite make it to that second one, but this one is pretty high velocity for a super light round, so we usually don't get too much penetration. So this is just over 11-inch block, so we made it right here to the very end. So let's check out the stretch cavity on this one. Pretty much all the way over. It looks like we did get a blowout here on the side. So from the very left hand side, we are right at 3.5 inches, so looking pretty good so far. So let's check it out from the side. And there you go. You can see as soon as it came in, it opened up, and like I said, you can see that blowout right here. So if we would have had a bigger block, it definitely would have created a little bit more damage. You can see quite a few of those really small fragments coming in. It came in all the way. Oh, check that out. That one's actually falling right out of the end of the block. So we did not make it out, but just shy. If this block wasn't here, it probably would have came out. But looking pretty good so far. So let's see if we can get an accurate measurement from the side, not including these little fragments that kind of flew off the side. We are right at about 3 inches, so a little bit smaller from the side, but still pretty good. And check that round out, just sitting right there. So we'll check it out one more time from the top. So one on the right is a 357 Magnum, one on the left is that 10mm. So here is that 357. Like I said, as soon as it came in, really started opening up nicely, dumping a lot of that energy right away. Did kind of flatline right there towards the end, and then that one we did catch about, I think it was 2.5 inches or so in that second block. And then our 10mm, same thing with this one, came in, really started dumping energy, real small fragments going throughout there. It did start to kind of slow down and flatline towards the end. We made it right there to the very end of that block. So let's pull these rounds and see what they look like. All right, check those things out. Looks like they both got some really nice expansion. So one on the right is that 357 Magnum, one on the left is that 10mm. So here's that 357, looking really good, mushroomed out really nicely, pretty much to its breaking point. Really good uniform expansion on that one, and then you can see those petals just started to fold over the base of that round. But quite a bit of penetration and expansion on that one, which is really good to see. Just over 1,500 feet per second, so didn't reach that advertised, but I'm sure if we had that longer barrel, we definitely would have come close. Looking pretty good so far. And here's that 10mm. That one opened up really nicely also. We really got some really good mushrooming. We weren't able to get that impact velocity, but that's all right. Might shoot another one just to get a number on it. If not, we'll just throw up the previous numbers. That one was moving out. You can see that one did peel those petals right over the base. There's a little bit of gel still left in there, but major expansion on that one. And we just came to the very end of that block. So it was really dumping quite a bit of energy really quickly. So the one on the right is that 357 Magnum, one on the left is that 10mm. Looking pretty good. One more time from the top. Like always, we'll get our still shots, slow-mo, all that good stuff here at the end. As always, thank you for watching, guys. All right, here's that cross-section for that 357 Magnum. Looks like it did pretty good. It got some nice wide splits right here. You can see right down in there, there's a couple fragments left over. Same on this side, huge splits, little piece of lead right there also. I did measure this at some of the widest points, and we're right at 3 3/4 inches. So it's definitely doing a pretty good job. It's not too bad at all. So let's cut this open. All right, and here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right, this top is the left side. So you can see right here, as soon as that thing came in, it really started opening up. It's a nice wide channel all the way through, and some really good damage going all the way also. There is a couple pieces of that cotton t-shirt, not too many, but there is quite a few little tiny fragments throughout this whole thing. But nice wide deep cuts throughout that whole channel right there. So really good to see. Same with this top side. As soon as that thing came in, started opening up really nice. Same thing up here. Nice wide stretch cavity. A little bit more of that fabric. Quite a few Little pieces of shrapnel, little pieces of lead down in there, all the fragments. But same thing with this side, really nasty cuts going through, creating quite a bit of damage. That thing was moving out pretty good, so not too bad at all. So there we go. There was that 357 Magnum. All right, and here's that cross section for that 10 millimeter. This one definitely looks like it did a little bit more damage. There's quite a few more little cuts throughout this little pattern right here, but a ton of damage. You can see tons of fragments all throughout there. It did a lot of damage. Same thing on this side. Lots of little cuts. I did remeasure these right at some of the widest points. We're at 4 1/8 inches, so quite a bit on this one. But tons and tons of damage for that 10 millimeter. So awesome to see there. So let's cut it open. All right, and here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right, this top is the left side. So you can see as soon as this one came in, same thing. It's a nice deep crater down in here, but it started opening up really nice. Huge stretch cavity throughout this whole thing, and some really nasty cuts. There's a couple of fragments down in there. You can see a little bit of that cotton t-shirt, but really good amount of damage coming in. So the thing was definitely moving out quick. I know we weren't able to get a velocity reading on it, but when I've tested that in the past, we're getting right at around 14, so right as advertised. So quite a bit of energy coming in right there. I'm sorry, I think, or 1500. I'll have to recheck. But yeah, so that thing's definitely doing a good amount of damage. I think it's 1500. But same on this top side. Came in, pretty much exploded in there. Tons of little fragments, quite a bit more cotton t-shirt. And it really jumbled this stuff up. Nasty cuts down in there. See a couple more fragments, but yeah, it tore this stuff up. So it looks like this 10 millimeter had a little bit more energy. We did have a little bit longer barrel on that, so kind of expected, but really good to see there. So there was that 10 millimeter 155 grain XTP.